Yeah, I was singing
I believe.
Sky
That's
Full
the
of
sound
Stars.
Of police.
Ooh.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, that sounds like. I don't know what Sky Full of Stars
That's
is.
a Coldplay
Is
song that my daughter listened to
Who sings
yesterday.
that shit?
Mm.
It's a Coldplay song?
It's not a warm play.
Coldplay?
Yeah. Warm
Speaking of
stop.
Coldplay.
Warm stop.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to the MVP bar, everybody.
Oh boy. I see my connection is gonna be amazing.
Nick right here?
That's the superstar.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be
Yeah,
careful.
was Superstar Club and MVP bar. Yeah.
Oh man.
Welcome to the Postgame
The large
show,
numeral
everybody.
starring Nick Wright.
Yeah,
Two
get
things
off my turf.
starring Nick Wright.
Oh, there we go.
Exactly.
then it's a war.
Yeah.
Now we're going.
So good. Well, we have lots to talk about tonight. Amin is joining us from his hotel room at an undisclosed location. Zach
Miami.
Harper, you know him from Cinephobe,
Show knows.
doing crazy numbers at
Crazy
Le Batard
numbers.
and Friends, all because of Zach,
The
nothing
craziest
because of
numbers.
Amin and Mr. Mays. Zach, welcome to the show. Mo DeKeel, BR, also the video coordinator for Greg Popovich. And I don't know, there's another coach in there too, right? But
There was a couple, but one of them season ended tonight. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I would say none of them will be coaching after today.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. We have so much to get into on that. But let's begin here. Also, check out one more thing on Twitter. Mo DeKeel's little video snippets that every time you reposted the Gortat, explaining the Gortat tonight. Fantastic.
Yeah, and it was more because I got perturbed because JJ gave credit to the Celtics, and I'm like, no, this was not something the Celtics started. It was Marcin Gortat who started this action, and we got to make sure the right people get credit because that's what we're about. The right people getting credit, Tom.
Speaking of credit, Patino game tonight. We had one for the Philadelphia 76ers. They got blasted by the Miami Heat. James Harden just basically went to Cancun at halftime. He was scoreless in the second half, had a couple turnovers, took exactly two shots in the second half. His best Ben Simmons impression. And Amin, how was the Patino game tonight with the 76ers?
Very strong. Very strong. A lot of different submissions. Not too many repeat offenders as far as the people submitting. I was impressed and I was enjoyed it. I thought the best submission though came from me. I like Rick Mahorn as a submission. I don't know why.
That's not the best submission.
Come on.
What was the best submission? Mike Jaminski?
Did you get Charles Shackelford, Mr. Amphibious?
I did.
It was Mark Ivoroni.
Mark Ivoroni's a good one.
No.
Come on.
Ivoroni's a good one, but not the best. Rick Mahorn is the best one.
What about Dana Barros?
Oh, you know what? I take that back. Rodney Buford was the best one.
Rodney Buford. I still believe.
Great name too.
Rodney Buford. One of my favorite Rodney Buford stories.
Yeah, we got
and I have multiple Rodney Buford stories.
Okay.
So one of my favorite Rodney Buford stories was my good friend Noel Gillespie, who was the head video coordinator when I got hired, and he went on to be an assistant coach in the league and head coach in the G League. Noel's from Milwaukee, and Rodney Buford is from Milwaukee, and they both played on the same little league baseball team when they were in the 7th grade or whatever. And I believe Jamal Mosley was on that same team as well, head coach of the Orlando Magic.
Wow.
And then, everyone goes their separate ways after that. Like they said, Rodney Buford was the shortstop and Noel was the second baseman or whatever. And fast forward to 2006, and the Suns are playing preseason in Israel against Maccabi Tel Aviv. It's when they had the European tour or whatever. And Rodney Buford is playing for Maccabi. And as he's warming up, he looks and he says, Noel Gillespie and those Rodney Buford, like they hadn't seen each other since 7th grade, and clearly neither of them had any idea what the other one was up to. And it was just like at that moment, as their warm-ups happening, it's one of those just squinting across the court. I've always loved that story for some reason. I just like the idea. It's the same thing happened to me, by the way, with Rick Mahorn. I worked with Rick Mahorn in Atlanta. He was an assistant coach, and I was a game ops guy. And the first day I met Rick Mahorn, I was carrying boxes, and he was walking in the arena on a game day, and he smacked the boxes out of my hand, like just shit everywhere, and walked off laughing.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah. And then, like, he would do this routinely all the time and fuck with me all the time. And then, like, obviously I left Atlanta and Rick left coaching or whatever. And years go by. I worked for the Sun. I worked for the Knicks. Then I worked for the Suns. Then I worked for ESPN. And I'm in the media room in Phoenix. And I'm sitting down and I see him walk up with a tray. And he's like, Amin? And it was clear as day. He had no fucking idea of anything that happened to me in like decades since we'd seen each other. It was literally like seeing someone that you saw as a child, and now you're like, wait, you do this now for a living? Like, what are you doing? Like, not even that. It's like, what are you doing here?
You guys weren't Facebook friends or anything? Like, there's no way for him to keep track of what the updates?
Surprisingly not. Shout out to Brusco, my bona fides.
What about Gerald Henderson?
Junior or senior?
Wow.
Exactly.
Zach Harper looks like Santa Claus's younger brother, Fred Claus.
Oh, Fred Claus. Former Cinephobe episode.
Yeah, Cinephobe episode. Maze, what episode was that? Oh, shit.
Come on, Amin.
Wow,
that's a good
Maze.
I like that.
I don't know why.
I like it.
I'm with it. Cinephobe episode 20.
Okay.
Year
okay.
20.
I don't even know which post-game press conference video we want to hit to first. You want to go with Doc's, James Harden's, or Joel Embiid?
Yeah, let's do Doc.
Let's do Doc first. Let's watch this video. Danny, fire it up. Doc Rivers post-game video from tonight's game.
I don't worry about my job, Howard. I think I do a terrific job, and if you don't, then you should write it. Because I worked my butt off to get this team here. When I first got here, no one picked us to be anywhere. And again, this year, the same thing. So if that's how anyone feels, write it, and I'm going to feel secure about it.
If the results face business,
it is, but you don't do it every year. Every time you're wrong, should you lose your job? No. So it's the same thing, all right? But listen, if you believe that, then go with it. I know what I did this year, and I feel very good about that. But again, if you believe that, Howard, then you just run with it.
Did you think you had enough time to get everything right?
That's
man,
special.
Every day, Doc is on the back nine. Every single day. Okay. Show me what his scores are. Beginning of the season. Show me what his scores are now. That dude's been golfing his ass off.
So here's my thing. There's a part of me that agrees with him, right? Like, hey, man, like every year, 29 teams are disappointed, pretty much.
That's not what he was saying.
Yeah, but when he says, I worked my butt off to get here, I'm like, to get where? Where they already been? And it reminded me, Mo, of the Clippers.
Oh,
where it's like, where people made this big deal. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's like, he literally didn't do anything that Vinny didn't do.
Yep.
And when he got to the Clippers, it was a time in Doc's career where he was universally beloved and nobody had a crossword. And there were all these people who said, Vinny's this and Vinny's that. And I'm like, look, I'm not telling you that Vinny's the next coming of Greg Popovich. All I'm telling you is, are you mean to tell me that Doc Rivers is that much better when their net rating is roughly the same, when they've won the same amount of games, the same amount of division titles, been to the same level of playoffs? At what point does Doc Rivers become one of the greatest coaches of all time and Vinny Del Negro is this awful human being? Like, I just never got that. And at the time, I wasn't going to push it because I knew people were going to say, oh, you just because Vinny's your guy, whatever. I was like, I'm just going to make the point logically and leave it alone. But now here we are a decade or some odd later. Like, what he's so proud of what he accomplished. You accomplished the same shit the coach before you accomplished.
Yeah. Mo,
it's not even that.
You've worked for Doc Rivers. He also fired you. So what are your thoughts after watching this video here?
And it's proof,
Cool.
and him firing me and proof that he never got for any further just proves I wasn't the problem, Tom. I was not the problem. I
not
kind
the
of was,
solution
but
either, but it's not the.
That's two different things, Zach. Don't
it's two different conversations. Sorry.
Don't
Answer the first
start
question.
going
Answer
there.
the first
Okay.
question. We're good.
No, this is the thing Doc does, right? Like he looked at the Clipper job when he thought Boston was about to start going into a rebuild. They traded all the guys, everything like that. He looked at the Clipper job and said, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, like this team should win a championship. It can't be the players, it's the coaching. And he just automatically made the assumption Vinny Del Negro can't coach. Get me there and I could win them a championship in a short amount of time. Like I can walk in and win a championship. He didn't understand the fact those guys all hated each other. There was it was pretty clear in all of that. It was pretty well known, I would say, at that point, once Vinny got let go and everything like that. But Doc thought he could come in, piggyback on the talent, and just win a championship. Doesn't work out, gets Kawhi, PG, all that stuff, that long run, and then eventually does the same thing going to Philly, thinking Brett Brown must not be able to coach. I can fix that. I can come in and fix that. There's a level of arrogance within Doc that drives me insane. And it's all of this. And then him just rewriting history. The Sixers had expectations for like the past 4 years.
I had them as a lottery team this year. So
Just Zach.
We'll write that. You should write that then, Zach.
If you believe that, you write that.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to
opening.
Real quick, Tom. Shout out to Gerardo Reyes. Oh yeah, they all emotional and personal. Bye. Shut the fuck up, you Sixer fan. You take your emotional and personalized. I know what the fuck going on here. Like,
just like Jimmy Butler said.
Enjoy your draft prep. Check out Sam Vecini's big board on the Athletic.
Yeah.
Now that you're in draft season.
Didn't they send their draft picks for James Harden?
Oh, well, check out where your draft pick's going to get the Brooklyn Nets.
Hey, man. Go back to Summer League.
Just Doc. This is what Doc does. And this is the thing here. And I'm with Amin there where it's like, it wasn't like he was that drastically different. Like when he came in and brought stuff to the offense, I was like, we did this under Vinny. It wasn't, Vinny wasn't the problem.
Now, I'll tell you this, that something that he did or didn't do, I guess. But look, it's no secret. Chris didn't like Vinny. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And part of coaching, man, I know it doesn't sound fair, but they got to fucking like you.
Yeah.
Well, to that point, look, I don't know what happened in Game 7 last year. I didn't see a little inside the huddle video, but 2 of the last 3 playoffs where Doc Rivers has been coaching either the Clippers or the Sixers, at one point he is begging his team to play hard. Begging.
Dude,
not like, all right, guys,
shades
we got to get this.
Shades of Game 7 from 2 years ago in the bubble.
Yes. He's begging them in this series. You got to play hard. They're playing harder than us. Like, in between quarter interviews, like, hey, they're playing harder than us. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, and look, some of that is not his fault, but also some of it is like these dudes gotta have to want to play for you. And if they're not playing hard, maybe that's an internal strife that has nothing to do with Doc Rivers, but that's part of the job, right? Part of the job is getting that shit figured out.
So that's kind of his MO, though. Okay. Like, his MO is, look, I got KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo, those pieces together, and I made the pieces greater than the whole greater than the sum of the pieces, right? And when he took the job with Philly, Elton Brand introduced him the press conference and said, welcome to Philly. We really are excited about winning championships with you, and da-da-da-da-da. And Doc Rivers takes the podium and takes the mic. He's like, I took this job because what a historic city, but I love the pieces here. I love the pieces. I don't care about point guard. I don't care about power forward, whether Ben Simmons should be one or the other. If you play for me, I don't deal with positions. What I love is that this team has won 65% of their games with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and I love the pieces that we have. So if they've already won 65% of their games before you come aboard, and you love the pieces, the implication is championship. The next step is to get into that championship conversation, and they have not done that the last couple of years. And a lot of that unraveling with these players is because they don't listen to Doc anymore. They don't like Doc anymore. And James Harden, he had a comment tonight. He gave him a next question when he was asked at the press conference about whether he blamed Doc Rivers for not getting the ball in this game and not getting the shots, he just said, "Next question."
Wait, James Harden. Next question. Somebody about not getting the ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're the point guard.
Yeah.
But
They inbounded to you.
You're the point guard. You have the ball at all times.
The
You
idea
get to
that
choose.
this dude would like dare. Look, here's the thing. I've been a James Harden apologist like for years. My thing was like, I don't think he's unclutch or whatever. I think he's just worn out by the time they get to the playoffs.
Yep.
He plays 82 games when nobody else is doing that. He plays 40 minutes when nobody else is doing that. He plays a style of basketball that's very, very like exertion heavy. Lots of abuse there.
On
Right?
one side of the floor. Yep.
But I'm saying like that whole like
Tom,
driving and getting fouled.
clearly, you haven't seen his post defense numbers.
The number one post defender in the NBA, as people remind us.
You know, three times a game it happens, and he defends the shit out
He's
of
the
it.
best.
Yeah.
He's the best because they only score one time out of those 3 times.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, I would say, like, he get to the playoffs. I see a guy who's tired. I don't see a guy who's like unclutch. I gotta be honest with you. It's not just this series, it's the last series. This dude is unclutch, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think last year was his fault, man. That he playing on half a leg. Like last year, he's playing on half a
That
leg.
hurt.
I still don't. I
Even
still don't
his
think
numbers
he
this
would've-
year are worse than that, Zach. Like
no,
we can
I know.
say
No,
last
I'm-
year was he was hurt, but then what is this? What is this
But that's
version?
What
He
I'm
had an
saying is that's
excuse
the
last
one
year.
time. That's the one time I don't blame him. All this other time, no, something weird always happens. It can't just be bad luck. Like there's a certain point where he just doesn't like the moment, or he doesn't feel comfortable in the moment, or whatever it is, however you want to characterize what that is. Like the dude's an amazing basketball player, unless the back is against the wall, and then he's just like, all right, I guess I'm cool with vacation. I can do that. That's fine. He took 9 shots.
He had
Nine shots.
he had no 2-pointers. No 2-pointers after the first quarter. His last 2-pointer came with 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Is the Danny Green
That's
injury
how
play?
I play, Tom. That's like a lazy, fat 40-year-old man. That's what I do.
It's crazy. And like he couldn't get into the paint. Like when he did get the ball, he was just settling or dishing off to other players or taking just a pull-up three. And when you're James Harden and you are the catalyst for that offense, initiator, Tyrese Maxey in the open court, yes, but in the half court, that's James Harden's job, is to create those paint penetrations and get to the rack, get to the free throw line. Did none of that tonight. Absolutely none of it. And then, like, if there is this rift between him and Doc Rivers, which I think it's pretty obvious at this point that he's tuned him out and there's going to be a change, like that's Doc Rivers. Like his job is to manage these big egos and get them to play well and buy in. And he hasn't been able to do that last 2 years.
Tom.
3.
We're burying the lead, which is that Stephen A. Smith at halftime told the world shit that they could have heard on Basketball Illuminati literally weeks and weeks ago.
What?
Oh, now y'all figured out that Mike D'Antoni want to get there?
What?
Now y'all figured out
Wait,
that
but I thought he was going to take the Hornets job. I mean,
no.
He has a nice
Y'all need-
relationship with Mitch Kupchak, though. I mean,
I'm just saying, people ain't paying attention.
yeah.
Third eye open. Shout out to Daniel Eads. That's right. If you keep your third eye open, you're well. It's not thievery, Brusco. It's not thievery when it's about the agenda, when it's about the things that they don't want you to know, but we aren't afraid to tell you. I believe Stephen A. Smith knew the same thing we knew probably at the same time, Tom. You know what the difference between us and him is?
We were willing to say it.
Exactly. No fear over here. We're emboldened. We're empowered. And
Stussy, no fear. Those are the type of shirts we wear. Big dogs.
Yeah. Big dogs.
Illuminati. Yeah, Doc Rivers. I did some research, you guys.
Did you?
I
Don did his
some
own
of my
research.
I did some of my own research. Eric Spoelstra and Doc Rivers have both had 18 series in which they were the favorite. What is Doc Rivers in those 18 series? How many has he won and how many has he lost?
I mean, he's one of the 15 greatest coaches of all time. I'll say
18 series. 18
Say
series.
15-3. One of the greatest coaches of all
saying-
time. One of the top 15 coaches.
I'm saying 8 and 10.
Mo.
Oh, means.
I'm just gonna go straight 500. 9-9.
The answer is I think Mo and Zach tie. He is 12-6 for a win
Wow.
percentage of 66%.
It's pretty good. Actually, you know,
That's
Yeah. What's Spoelstra? Because you have Spoelstra, as you said, right? Also played
Eric
18
Spoelstra
series.
as the favorite, 18 series. What is his record?
let's say 16-2.
I'm gonna have to one up Zach. 17-1.
Wow. Go 18-0,
You know what?
you coward.
I'm gonna one
18
down
and 0.
Zach and go 15-3.
What?
That's why he's Coach Mo. 17-1.
Well, I mean, I
Nice
kinda
job.
Yes.
What was the only series that Spo was the
One more
favorite?
loss.
The Miami Heat.
Oh, Dallas,
Dallas.
2011.
In the finals, right?
That's correct.
Nice.
That's correct.
That's by the way,
Yeah.
that's always been my point about LeBron. He never loses the series that he's supposed to win, other than that one. Every other series loss he's had, he wasn't supposed to win.
By the way, that's also a really remarkable record. 17-1.
17-1 is
Yes.
insane.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
that's
absurd.
absurd.
Like
Yeah.
you're going
17-1.
First of all, it's insane that he's been the favorite 18 times. Let's start
right.
there.
Like,
Because that's not counting the ones where he wasn't the favorite.
right.
That's
like
right.
that's just
18 times he's a favorite. And then
I mean,
He's
that's
2-0 this
17-1.
postseason. He was 1-0 in 2020. He was 1-0 in 16. And then, of course, 3-0 in 14, 4-0 in 13, 3-0 in 12, and then 3-1 in 11. Can you name the 3 series in which Spo won as the underdog? So going into the series, he was the underdog and
beat
prevailed
Milwaukee.
in that
The
series.
first one. The
Milwaukee
first
in the
one.
bubble.
Yep,
Milwaukee-
Milwaukee. They were up 4 when they won that series in 5 games. Yep.
The first one, I believe they beat Charlotte the first year. Well, they beat the Hornets, I should say.
Nope.
Well, you said
Wasn't-
did you say he was 3-0 in 2012? So were they not the favorites against Boston?
They were not favorites. They were favorites 3-0 against Boston in 12.
Oh.
Yeah, because Game 6 was in Boston. That's right. That game.
So wouldn't they
was-
be 4-0 then? Because they won
Yeah.
the championship.
Well, guess who
Wait a
was the
goddamn-
underdog in 2012 in the 2012 NBA Finals?
No way.
No,
Yep.
the
No
underdog.
chance.
Swear to God,
What?
Vegas had them as the underdog going against
Wow.
OKC. They actually lost that first game and then won the next 4.
the
Yeah.
That's
Crazy,
amazing.
right?
That's stupid.
Vegas.
That's legitimately stupid.
And Vegas was drunk on that one.
Oh my god.
So Eric
Felt
Spoelstra
like the
3-7 as the underdog for his career, and Doc Rivers as the underdog, like he was tonight in this series against the Miami Heat. Doc Rivers in 15 series as the underdog. He is 4-11, so he has upset their opponent 4 times in his postseason career. So 12-6 as the favorite, 4-11 as the underdog, and Spoelstra 17-1 as the favorite and 3-7 as the underdog. I mean, 17-1 is just crazy. So props to Eric Spoelstra. Doesn't get enough flowers as the head coach.
He's the best coach in the league.
Then there's also the fact that they're 14-6 since the Jimmy Butler Eric Spoelstra spat. 14-6.
Wow.
Well, it's not since the spat. It's since they sat Duncan Robinson. That's what it really is.
Let's
Struce
talk
got
about
loose,
that.
baby.
The Struce
And
is loose.
Struce was awesome tonight.
I
He's
love
so
him.
good,
Oh, he's
man.
so
You know what I
good.
love him is he's like Duncan Robinson if Duncan wasn't scared. I just love the fact that he doesn't give a shit. Fucking
it's-
love that, man.
I think he's so much more than that though as a player.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I
so
get
much
what
more.
you're
He's a
saying.
better
Yeah.
he's a better defensive player.
Like he's a good
better
passer.
passer. He's bigger,
Yeah,
stronger.
5 assists
he's a
tonight.
big
Like,
dude.
But
Yeah.
I don't
rebounds or whatever.
that's not the stuff I love about him. I love that he doesn't give a shit. I love that.
He's gonna shoot it all. Doesn't matter. 2
Yeah.
for 10, 8 for 10. Shot 11's coming up either way.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair thing. I mean, about especially with Duncan Robinson being afraid, but he had such a great element to this team, though. When you're able to get shooting equivalent of Duncan Robinson and then add on all these other skills to it, just makes him so much tougher. It makes it easier to play him with Tyler Hero and all of those things that go forward, you know.
Do you think Poppy is a big enough Heat fan that he'll wait to beat Strus's ass until after the playoffs are over so that the Heat can
that's the team
possible?
play.
Poppy's team over everything, man. Poppy's
It's also very impressive though that Strus has been able to do all of this while looking over his shoulders every time.
Well, that's why his awareness is so good. He's looking everywhere.
All of his misses are every time he's shooting midair. He's looking, you know, where's Poppy as he's going up?
Because Poppy gonna beat his ass. Huh?
Yeah,
Poppy, and by the way, and Udonis Haslam, which I can give you guys some behind the scenes on that. UD completely went off script. Completely.
I can't imagine he would ever follow a script.
He was supposed to like defend Strus and tell Poppy like nobody gets to my guys without going through me. And instead, listen, instantly he was like, well, let's find him. Let's go whoop his ass right now. I was like, all right, well,
I guess we're changing it. Changing the game there a little bit.
Trae Young wanted some love for Gabe Vincent too. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter, but he was like, you got to get Gabe Vincent in that graphic.
I love the adorableness of star player who's been defeated by a team. So give props to this role player.
Give props to the backup who locked me up.
and not like asshole who locked me up.
No, it's definitely the like. See, he's good. See,
that's
why
really
I lost.
good.
That's why I lost. He's good.
Yeah.
See, he's beating everybody. He's not just me.
Yeah.
How about this motherfucker Jimmy Butler? Are we ready to talk about
that?
Yes.
Let's. Hey, play the video. Play the video, Danny. Jimmy Butler in the tunnel.
Tobias Harris over me.
Tim Donovan looking very awkward right there.
Adam Silent.
The back of Tim Donovan's head. Very awkward back of Tim Donovan's head.
Yeah, man. Doing
we don't have the other sound. Do we have the other sound of him in the post game telling Cassidy or not? Was it Cassidy? It was who did? George. It was Sedano.
Yeah.
George Sedano.
By the way, he corrected Sedano. Was like, yo, he asked him about his leadership, like 2 conference finals in 3 years, whatever, and he said, "Our leadership."
Nice job.
Yeah, but then
culture, baby.
He said he wanted to be here in Philly, and I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life.
That was interesting.
I wonder how much of that is like, let's put on a little bit of a show here. Yeah, you
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You know what?
He said in the press conference, "I'm finally where I'm supposed to be." Like in his post game.
And Joel Embiid's comments saying like, "I don't know why we let him go."
Right.
Like Joel Embiid said that after the game. Yeah.
I did kind of get the sense in that post game, like right after the game with George, he did say like, I wanted to be here in Philly, but I love this organization. I love this organization here with Miami. He caught himself. Like I think he genuinely was like feeling that emotion of kind of the scorned ex-lover where he's just like, I don't know why you guys got rid of me. And he said it in the tunnel there. He's still feeling a certain way about it. And I love that about this.
I was surprised.
Kind of what the player empowerment and changing teams and stuff. This is what it's supposed to be.
I won't lie. I'm surprised because it seems like Miami has been the perfect place for him. Somewhere where his neuroses and his sociopathy is welcomed and championed and held up as like, this is how we do things here. Yeah, we have crazy guys that want to work all the time and have baskets delivered to every single player during a pandemic and all that. Like, I could not imagine. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I saw his agent during Game 5. That motherfucker's happy to come to Miami every other day or whatever. Like,
he probably got real worried that 1.5 years in Minnesota. Like, I don't want to go to Minneapolis every day.
Yeah, I don't think he's meeting Denzel up in Minneapolis, by the way.
No.
Oh my God. No. Still, Bernie, you're a hack.
Bernie.
You're a hack. The way he was just like with this big grin on his face as Denzel is saying whatever the hell. I'm like, get out of here, man.
I feel bad for Tobias though. Tobias is just chilling. He's heading back home. He's not.
It's not his fault.
He caught a little astray here. I feel like
he can wipe his tears with the $36 million he's getting next year and the $39 million he's getting the year after that. Like he'll be just fine.
Yeah, but what's that after taxes?
Zach,
35? I don't know.
Zach, more like Motrack. You know, like the contract website, Spoeltra. I call them Motrack. Motrackil.
Okay, now I'm in. I like that one. That,
That one sold you. He saved you at the very end.
You know what? I'll take it.
Mo, break down why this team won't run good offense with James Harden and Tyrese Maxey and Embiid tonight. Was it more about the defense more so than it was the X's and O's that Doc? I don't know if he drew it up. Or
Charlie Kelly ain't walking through that door. Wait, hold on. Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania too.
2 cities on the state? Yeah, that can't. That makes sense, right?
I know. I don't think you guys are understanding.
No, but the first off, you got to shout out Miami's defense. Their rotations were everywhere. Anytime they had to front somebody, the backside rotation was right there to take it away. Whether it was Harris, whether it was Embiid, there was always somebody showing an extra body on top of that. The other side of it is Harden just putting up a typical elimination game Harden, right? And just not being interested and not really putting up much of a fight. Maxey full on disappeared. It's a combination of the defense took him out of it, and I don't feel like the offense ever really found a system really that was sustainable throughout the entire series. Even in the 2 games they won, one was let's just play super fast, and Maxey went completely nuts in the fourth quarter of a game, and the other one was Harden turning back the clock and showing, I can still score 30. After that, they've fallen apart. Like at no point did you feel comfortable with any of their offensive stuff, and a lot of it had to do with Miami's defense just being super aggressive, and the zone messed them up.
I want to push back on a couple things there because I agree. Like Miami's defense is good. Like and they had a great game plan, especially the fronting of Joel Embiid in the series and everything. Fantastic. Yep. But I don't agree that Maxey disappeared. Like I think Maxey tried. He just wasn't very good, but he tried. Joel Embiid wasn't very good, but he tried. The reason that didn't work is because James Harden can't play anymore. Yep. Like he's just not a he's not.
You think he's done? Player. You think he's done?
What about the last 2 seasons makes you feel like okay, I'm in?
I think
like it's trending. Like he's played 940 games in the regular season. He's played 33,000 minutes in the regular season. Like where is that burst going to come?
I might be crazy, but I think D'Antoni is going to bring it back out of him.
I wanted to go there. Mo.
I think we're clapping for
Mike D'Antoni with this combo of Embiid, Harden, and Maxey.
I'm not that much of a believer just because I think at the risk of trying to make this work for Harden, you're going to actually hurt Embiid in the long run of things. And I think that's a big part of Embiid's game throughout the regular season. Obviously now he has a broken face, so he probably didn't want to post up that much or that aggressively, was to post up. And listen, man, like when D'Antoni was coaching Pau Gasol, he was like, I don't want to no post ups. You need to post up at the elbow and things like that. Now, Embiid does a pretty good job at isolation, but I'm not a fan of that. The guy I really want them to go after as a coach, forget going after D'Antoni, and we all know why D'Antoni is the major guy. I want them to go after Quinn Snyder. I think that could be an interesting. That could be a very interesting.
Hey, James Harden, I know you weren't enthused to play for Doc, but what if I told you I'll give you a playbook that's this big and has 18 billion dribble handoffs in it?
Oh my God, the screen assist that Joel Embiid
would be amazing. Like, he would finally be Gobert.
Oh my God, that is. I'm in.
Has D'Antoni had a defensive player like Embiid before? I mean, I guess you could throw in Powell and Dwight. Sean Marion is different.
Tyson Chandler. Defensive player of the year.
Dwight Howard was a hell of a defensive player. He just had a hurt back when he was
post back surgery. Dwight Howard's different. Hey, Danny, play the video, Embiid's post game video at the press conference when he talked about Houston, James Harden.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's been obviously. I'm sure since we got him, everybody expected the Houston James Harden. But that's not who he is anymore. He's more of a playmaker. I thought, at times, could have been, as all of us, could have been more aggressive. All of us, whether it's Tyrese or Tobias or, guys coming off the bench.
Houston,
Done.
James Harden not walking through
He's
that
done.
door.
Yeah. I just unless he becomes a vegan, like he needs to lose weight. He needs to reshape his body. He needs to invest all that money that's going into other stuff into his body, the way Chris Paul does, the way LeBron James does. And I don't know that you can just pick up and do that. Like he goes into every season, even his best seasons, he goes into every season playing his way into shape. Like he works on skill set, but in terms of getting to the best shape, like no, it's the first month of the season for him. He plays himself into shape, and then he's great after that. Well, that caught up to him. You're 33 at the start of the next season. You don't get to do that anymore. And so the idea, all right, how about this? Daryl Morey, I dare you to give him that full max extension.
Oh my God. If he does that, man. If he does
dare
that.
you to give him $270 million.
That's so
He is
wild.
eligible for a 5-year, $270 million contract with the Sixers. I don't think he gets that. He can opt in for next season at $47 million.
47.
If he takes that 5-year extension, he's going to be making about $60 million at age 37.
Question:
dollars.
riskier investment? Kyrie Irving for the Nets, James Harden for the Sixers. Go.
Can I say no?
James Harden. James Harden.
It's Harden.
And by the way, you can't, hold on. We can't
no.
include the whole. You can't include the whole. Oh, because this one makes Kevin Durant happy. No.
No.
Just
Players. Yeah.
I'm not doubting Kyrie's body, even though he has plenty of injury issues over the years and he misses
I am
games.
doubting
I'm not
Kyrie's body.
Let's
not
say
compared to how I'm doubting James Harden's body. Like that thing's a potato.
He got fatter as the game was going today. Like, did anybody notice? Like, it felt like he got bigger than he was in the first quarter. Like, I don't know what he ate at halftime. Like, it's just, I'm with Zach. Like, he was a
potato
we're
in the first half and a beanbag in the second.
We're doing this out of respect
makers
for his career, but like he's done.
From the makers of Kumquat, he's a potato.
He's a potato.
I mean, at best he's a playmaker. And
See,
you're not
this
gonna
is
you can't give him 5 years to $270 million.
I think the Sixers, whether they do this or not, whether Daryl Morey does this or not, I don't think he will, but I think they should offer him the Chris Paul contract, 4 years, $120 million, and leave it at that. 4 years, $120 million, fourth year with Chris Paul at this
Paul was
stage.
36
I feel better
though when they offered him that. 36.
Yeah, but how old is James Harden right now in James
32.
Harden years? He's turning
James Harden
33 in
years is a
August,
different
but,
story.
like,
332.
potatoes don't really age all that well. Okay.
No.
Potatoes
He
never
moves
die.
like Ben Roethlisberger at this point. Like
You know
it's just
French
like
fries? French
He
fries, how
moves-
well they
he moves
age
like
terribly.
Uncle Ben at this
He
point.
is French fries. He's French fries. Have you ever had a good leftover
no, French fries
fry?
are good. French fries are good.
Leftover
they're-
French fries. Have you ever had a leftover French fry that tasted good? The answer is no.
No.
You've never had one.
No,
They're cold and sad.
and it kind of like James Harden. No, Zach's just hit it all on the head. Like, the dude doesn't take care of his body. We hear the stories of how much money these guys put into their bodies to take care. Chris Paul puts in $1 million, LeBron's up to $2 million now or whatever, and things like that. James Harden puts about $2 million worth of alcohol in him in the offseason, right? Which by all means, that's fine. But you come into camp out of shape, you try to play your way into shape, you're screwed. Like, at the end of the day, you're just not going to work.
I think we should I think he should get half of his contract voided if the next team he goes to, he says it's going to be scary hours. I think he's not allowed to use that anymore.
No one's allowed to use that anymore.
Well, it's stupid in the first place, but it's especially stupid when he says it.
Nobody gives a shit.
He averaged 18 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds with 4 turnovers a game on 40% shooting in the playoffs. How much money did he lose this postseason? Because if he showed out this postseason,
none.
he could have gotten that 270.
I think Daryl's going to give him the deal.
Not
Any other
even a
GM is
dollar.
a different story.
Not even a dollar.
Yo, Tom, I don't think you understand, man. Like,
don't get it.
Daryl's been chasing this dude.
Daryl is committed.
He is very confident in that press conference. Oh, I'll be back.
Yeah, you know that phrase, pot committed? He is pot belly committed. Like he's in.
That's his
Four-
dude, man.
4 years, $120 million. That's the contract. Because, like you said, he doesn't take care of his body. And if you're trying to win a championship with Joel Embiid, you can't have a guy who ages like a potato, like a French fry.
What did you guys think about?
Yeah.
Sean Marks say we want guys who are going to be here. We want guys who are about winning and about availability and all that shit, which seemed very, very pointed at Kyrie. What did you guys make of that?
You had a nice conversation with KD before that. KD can't come out and say that.
Sure.
KD can't come out and say that. Right? So Sean Marks is hearing that. I'm guessing. Now, I don't have any inside information. I don't know anything.
Just my opinion.
Just my opinion now. Sean Marks had a conversation with Kevin Durant and was his puppet there on the stage. Why did I turn into Obama?
I don't know. And
like a greeny Obama, weird.
You got a Bill Clinton thumb going too. Yeah.
Do you have a highlighter in your hand? Or are you who's the ESPN analyst? With
Barack Greenberg. That's Greenberg. Is it the Digger? Digger's the one with the highlighter.
Digger, yeah, with the highlighter. He's got like 5 different characters into one.
Zach,
it's a dangerous game. I mean, you blurted it out. I got a little nervous.
Let's switch over to the other series in this slate of games tonight. We got Dallas and Phoenix. Phoenix just absolutely got shredded. They were like they were terrible tonight.
Guys, I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win this game 7.
For real.
Chris Paul looks terrible, man.
He does.
But he looks terrible every other game, though. It's been 3
straight. It's been 3 straight. He's looked terrible.
No, but game 7 is Sunday, though.
He has 2 days off.
Yeah, he has 2 days off.
I mean, he's gonna need it because he's been really bad for 3 straight games.
And Scott Foster's definitely already on his way to Phoenix.
Guys,
I don't know. He's at the pool.
By the way,
Scottsdale.
Oh my God, I can't wait for Scott Foster to be just so they can have a meltdown based on that. By the way, shout out to my homegirl Kyriana, who said, I don't even know if she said this, but I said this is what I'm going to say from now on. She said the Suns got tumbled tonight, and I was like, I love that as a tumbled.
I love that. Yes.
As a term for someone who got their ass beat.
God.
Wow. He got tumbled. Oh my God. Because I just thought about like putting someone in a dryer and just go. Oh man.
So Chris Paul had more turnovers than field goals for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. He only had one such game in the last 2021 postseason.
Shout out to Cody Smithling. Stugotz was right.
It's looking more and more like that. To go even deeper, Tom, just over the last 4 games, Chris Paul has 25 assists and 18 turnovers.
That's not Chris Paul.
Dog, do you remember the first round? In the first round, they were like, he has 40,000 assists and like 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
And those are turnovers because the other guys didn't catch the ball.
Man, this is not even Chris Whitney. Like, this is not any Chris I know. This is not what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's not Chris. Well,
We've never seen Whittingham play.
Is this Chris
Dudley? Yeah, Chris Dudley wasn't great.
Kristaps Porzingis?
KP.
Okay.
Chris Paul. I don't know. I don't think it's an injury, although he did hurt his hand on the last couple possessions there, which a little worrisome for the Suns. He always has a history of those just random hand injuries, so keep an eye out for that. Sunday is game 7, so they got a couple days off here. The other thing that is crazy is that Scott Foster hasn't refed since Sunday. It's a weird layoff for him. Kind of feel like they just have him just stretching in Phoenix, waiting for that game.
He's going to be he's going to be in Boston, Milwaukee tomorrow because that needs to go 7 as well. And then they're going to fly him out, and that's enough time for him to get over to Phoenix.
No. This is what he's going to do.
They can't risk him getting hurt.
Warriors
getting up there in age.
Warriors, Grizzlies.
They got to load manage.
They could wrap that one up. And then it's a short flight from the Bay down to Phoenix for game 7.
That's
Luka
good basketball Illuminati stuff.
Luka Doncic in elimination games averages 39 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists.
Turns out he's pretty good.
Wow. Zach, did you do your own research?
In general.
I did, but it had to do with the other series. And by my own research, I stole a tweet from Vinny Goodwill.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
was
share that one.
great.
Please
He
share that
chose
one.
violence. Vinny chose violence. with
Jugular
that
Vinny.
one.
The Philadelphia 76ers last made the Eastern Conference Finals in 2001. Since then, the Sacramento Kings, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Orlando Magic have all made their conference finals.
That
That's
is
amazing.
one fucked up group of teams. Let me just
I
say
think
that.
Indiana was in there too, and I was just like, "Yo, come on,
Mhm.
really?" That's incredible. Hey, you know
Yeah.
they never expected them to do anything. If you listen to Doc, you know, just never no
He
expectations.
put them there. You
whatsoever.
know, the team wasn't in Philadelphia before Doc got there, right?
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
no.
Doc
Didn't like
put
the
them on the
pieces,
map.
Didn't win 65%
Francisco-
of their games. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Doc
Mo,
put them on the map.
Mo, talk to me about a Spain pick and roll and why they just crushed the Phoenix defense with that tonight.
It was fascinating because the Spain pick and roll is something we associate mostly with Phoenix, but it's something the Mavs are running. And what it is you got Doncic coming off for usually Powell or Maxi Kleba, and then you have a guard on the bottom end setting a screen or floating up, and usually that's Reggie Bullock. And basically
Setting a screen for the big man.
for the big man, right? And sometimes, and the way the Mavs do it is they actually slip Bullock out a lot more than set that screen, and he just kind of hangs around the 3-point line. What was happening with the Suns was Ayton was first either being hugged up too much on Kleba because he didn't want to give up the pop out to three, and basically giving Luka a free run because the other guy was already gone because Bullock switched out, and now Luka had free lanes to the rim, or they would pull in from the weak side, and it would be like Devin Booker, and that's the one where he found Brunson in the corner or in the lifting up for a three. It's just all of these opportunities that are being available for them, and it's something that they're slicing the Suns up with their own freaking play. It's kind of
Taste
amazing.
their own
It's,
medicine. Yeah.
it's kids' way of just going like, oh, well, screw you guys. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone suspect that this Dallas Mavericks roster could hold this Phoenix Suns offense to 86 points in this game? I mean,
No.
Jason Kidd doing a hell of a job, and Sweeney, his assistant coach, doing a hell of a job coaching up this defense.
They've been so much more active. I mean, Jason Kidd talked about this earlier in the series of like, Luka, you just got to give us a couple of seconds, right? A couple of seconds so we can recover, we can load up, we can scramble, whatever. And I think for the most part, like he's been slightly better. He's been 1% better each game, than he was in the last one. But I think for the most part, the Suns are just not taking it seriously enough. Like 22 turnovers. I think they were plus 23 in points off turnovers. In what they allowed, they gave up 10 more 3-pointers than what they hit for whatever reason. I mean, they've got good shooters. This is like, look, they have Jay Crowder, and Jay Crowder cannot be trusted, right? He might go 8 for 11, he might go 0 for 11. Like you never know what
JJ Redick just being like shitting on Crowder's flopping tonight. He was just like, man, there should be an Emmy.
Redick was great.
JJ Redick did like Sports Center, get up, first take, then got on the NBA Today, then got on a plane and flew out and did this game. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
He
was a hard
great
worker.
on the call tonight. He was great.
You thought you were?
You wait, what?
I fucking work hard. What are you guys talking about? I work harder than everybody.
I don't know.
That's not even up for question.
It's
I
not.
saw Obama in the studio. I saw Greeny in the studio.
Mm.
I think other people were there instead of you.
DMX.
Yeah,
Doc.
DMX was there. Doc.
Yeah.
I would say, what's your favorite one that you do? What's the one that you feel like you nail
Voices.
your impressions? Is it?
Stephen A.
Oh, and impressions? Oh, it's Obama.
Yeah.
No, but you have the most fun doing Stephen A, right?
No, actually Stephen A is hard because I'm like I have to because it's not good yet.
Once you
Let me
ramp
just
up.
say.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I need-
practice this in the mirror at night.
No,
or is
it's just I do take notes of words he uses and try to say, okay, let me try and use those words.
I think he said
DMX
calamitous.
DMX is the easiest because it's all intonation and slowing down and whatever. Greeny is the most limited because it's literally just the same thing over and over again. But like that's what makes it great. It's just the same thing over and over again. Oh, there's the one that I forgot to do, which is I would say is my favorite to do. Just when I nail it, it's just so funny to me. Which is Zach? Do you know which one it is?
Alvin Gentry.
No, not Alvin.
Oh,
Is it Arnold?
Oh yeah. Let's kill the dinosaurs. The Ice Age. Yeah.
I hate that one because Amin gets the same stupid look on his face that Arnold does.
So happy. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy.
You
are not going to send me to the cooler.
No, because it was like a month and a half after we did Batman and Robin that you would not stop.
Wait, Batman and Robin, you did it on what?
On Cinephobe.
What's that?
Oh, I'm so glad you guys asked in stereo. Cinephobe, the podcast where Amin Elhassan and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and we try to ascertain if they're properly poorly rated or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. That's Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays. It's on the Le Batard and Friends network, and it's wherever you get podcasts.
Wow.
Yeah,
By the
we did
way,
Batman and
check it out.
Robin, and
That was
Amin was doing it on radio. He was doing it on other episodes of
Episode
Cinephobe. He was
75.
doing it every time he appered on Le Batard. It had no
75, by the way.
context. It had no context, and he just did it for like a month and a half. He was just on NBA radio constantly for no reason.
What context you need when someone says, "What killed the dinosaurs?" The Ice Age. You are not going to send me to the cooler. Goodbye, bird boy.
Devin Booker, 8 turnovers. Chris Paul, 5 turnovers. The team, as Zach said,
real
20.
quick.
Oh, you're still going? God.
Because Daniel
I tried.
Daniel Eads keeps saying Will Manso, and I. Do you know the story? Do you know the story? You guys.
From
The hockey game
yesterday?
last night with Tim Reynolds.
Who are we trying? We got excommunicado?
No, but this is the funniest part. Isn't the whole beef that arose with Tim Reynolds over it and Mike excommunicadoing him and all that. That's all funny. But like hours and hours into the show, after we've taken this to the heights, whatever, at some point Chris says, by the way, it wasn't Will Manso.
It wasn't even him?
It was Clay Ferraro. And I'm like,
They don't look at all alike.
At all.
at all. At
No.
all.
Is it
And
Clay
I was-
like a blonde Ken doll?
Blonde. He's blonde. He's a blonde white man. And Will Manso looks very, very ethnic, right? Jet black hair. And I'm just like, wait a second. We started a whole revolution around this. And you guys mean to tell me, oh, by the way, it wasn't even him?
Talking about catching strays. Will man
Could that have
had nothing
that
to do
couldn't-
with this.
that couldn't have been any better of Cody and Stugotz starting something like that
by the way,
over
all
not
fair.
even getting the
All fair, Stugotz revealed to me Goldie wasn't there either. Goldie was there early that night, but he'd been long gone. So all that time when they say, "Oh, so we were yelling Will Manso," and Stugotz keeps saying, "And Goldie."
Yeah.
Adam Jameson. We're not talking about people who look like people in movies. Someone they know Will Manso. This is not like
Yeah.
Will Manso is around all the time. Like,
Yes.
It would be like me seeing Zach and saying that's Anthony Mays over there. Like it's
Right.
just it's beyond.
I don't know. 22
Does any-
turnovers for the
Yeah, does-
Suns.
Does any part of what they're doing, Tom, like make you feel like they're taking that seriously? And I'm not saying that's the only reason the Mavs won. I'm just saying that's the reason
Thank
for
you,
the
Zach.
sloppiness.
Did you know I did some research, and according to stathead.com, that is
Your
the
own?
largest
Your own
turnover
research?
differential in Western
Jesus
Conference playoff history.
I mean,
Turnover differential 22-6 plus 16, largest gap in Western Conference playoff history. What we just witnessed tonight. Super
What's the
sloppy. You would have
largest-
never expected Chris Paul team to have that. The other direction, you'd expect it.
does anybody
that
notice that
defense
Tom
was on
switched
fire.
highlighter colors? He's now gone to
Yeah.
a green highlighter.
Well, because we went to the Western Conference.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so now we're at
Yeah.
different. But
This digger here
this.
Whoa.
God.
with a D, digger.
Wow.
Hard R, though,
Um,
digger.
But these,
People
but
who
these
annoy
turnovers, but these turnovers are
mad
really
you.
just a struggle. Like this is one of those things where it's the defensive intensity and the pressure that the Mavs were putting on them. And, it's like Zach said, Jason Kidd saying, like, you just got to play a few seconds of defense, Luka. And they're going to send help behind it. And everybody's coming. They're coming with active hands. Reggie Bullock had a clean pick off of a pass CP threw, and then got a transition 3 right off of it because CP left the ball in transition. Like, it's just plays where we're like, this is really weird. But a lot of it is the defense is putting a lot of pressure on those guys. And Zach's right. They're very sloppy with the ball in a way that I don't think any of us would have ever expected a Chris Paul team to be.
No, like 16 of those turnovers were live ball turnovers. 16 steals. That's insane. You can't win. You can't even come close to winning that way.
No.
You're no way. You're giving up so much in transition just off of that.
Yeah. Like, at least if you're throwing the ball out of bounds, you get a chance to reset your defense, right? If you're going to be sloppy in a way that the other team can't get it.
But even on defense, like when they do get set, they're just getting blown by. Like Luka's blowing by Mikal Bridges, and that's something I wasn't expecting. That's like,
posted.
Marcus Smart, Mikal Bridges. It's a tough series for him.
Yeah.
It's a tough.
Jrue Holiday, on the other hand.
Toughie. Jrue Holiday.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. Jrue Holiday really fucking. I feel like I'm the only person. And I watch this guy, and I'm like,
you are. I've heard you this morning. You are.
No.
Really?
I mean, he was giving me a heart attack last night until those final 2 minutes. He was giving me a heart attack. Like I was like, me openly screaming, "That's a bad shot! Like you can't take that! Like to no one in this apartment."
Just Mo, like, are you watching him and you're like, I love this decision?
No, I don't love this. It's the product of Chris Middleton is really the number 2 option on that team, and he's the guy that really
he was doing this shit last year during the finals.
Yeah, he did during the finals. He did. Yeah.
He was doing
but it wasn't as pronounced. But it wasn't as pronounced with how often you got it from Middleton.
But that's because he's lucky because he's still been a good playmaker through all this. So he's setting guys up. He's had some incredible passes inside to Brook Lopez when everyone's cheating out.
Yep.
And then the other part of that is his defense is so great. His defense is so great that you'll make up for it.
Fabio Sequeira, Jrue or Draws? Jrue or Draws? You don't think that's funny? Oh, okay. But Megan Rapinoe versus Megan Rapinoe, hell no. That's funny, huh?
When did I say that?
You laughed at it.
What are you doing?
You laughed at it.
What? When did we talk about that?
We didn't. They did it on Le Batard, but I know you guys laugh at everything they do because it's so funny.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
I only laugh when they talk about us not being the number 1 podcast.
How bad does Jrue Holiday have to shoot where we're just like the defense isn't worth it?
How bad does
I don't know if he's
I was gonna make a Cinnabon joke, but I thought twice.
I think he'd have to go 2 for 23.
That many shots to get that bad.
Actually, even then, I'd have to see how many offensive rebounds. How many
stops?
He did in the finals too. They won a championship with him. He's shooting over his last 6 games. He's shooting 33% on a billion shots.
The defense is that good. The playmaking's that good. The shooting, you just hope he hits the key ones.
Which he did last night.
Also, when is Dan going to acknowledge that Jrue Holiday is the mayor of Clamp City? Like that is what he is.
All right,
he
look into the
runs
camera.
Clamp
Okay,
City.
by the way, I've got Jrue Holiday's game log in front of me.
You just killed Zach. Zach was ready to deliver.
No, fuck the Clamp City. Fuck Clamp City.
Not Clam City. That's a different thing. Clamp City.
I'm the
The
mayor of
hard
that.
P.
In the finals last year.
I mean, that was a good joke. Think about what I just said.
I know. I said I'm
With
the
a
mayor of
hard
that.
P.
He's reading something on his screen. He didn't really hear it. He
Okay,
didn't.
I did. I just didn't care much. This is what he did in the finals: 4 of 14, 7 of 21, 8 of 14, 4 of 20, 12 of 20, 4 of 19.
How many rings?
1 only.
Okay. How many rings did Chris Paul get in that series?
Wow.
You got the ringer.
Oh.
Whoa.
Did you guys see Bill Simmons at the Celtics game last night?
Yeah.
The sad face.
Yeah.
What a sad face.
He recorded video, I think, of the Bobby Portis put back.
Yeah.
And then I put it on somewhere. It must have been Instagram because he's blocked me on Twitter. But put in like, this is the worst thing I've ever experienced or something like that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was the quiet, like it was so
He had
quiet
no
on that
idea.
building.
It got quiet.
No, but I'm more
Kawhi
over like
Leonard.
he had no
Kawhi
idea
Leonard.
there was more.
Yeah, Jrue was about to.
Oh my
man.
god,
It was
twice,
before it, yeah.
2 more bad moments.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Mayor of Clamp City.
7 of 20, 11 of 30, 5 of 22, 9 of 24.
God awful. He's god awful, but defensively he's amazing.
Incredible.
Last night after that sequence happened, I text Dan, Jrue Holiday, Mayor of Clamp City, and he just responded with, "Why are you sending me this?"
I thought he would have responded with, "Who's this?"
Dan told me today, he said, Zach sent me a very nice note the other day about how appreciative, and I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, I told Dan, this fraud.
What?
Yeah,
I am very thankful. What are you talking about?
I said, don't believe a word he says. He's just
Freedom. Very nice to me.
Yeah.
Getting Cinephobe on this network, the work the support
you're
he's
welcome.
given, the support Mike Ryan's given, the work you've done, the work Ben did, everyone did in getting this
No.
process of getting the number one podcast on the Le Batard and Friends network.
You're
of
welcome,
acquiring that. Like I'm
Distant second, Illuminati. Distant second.
middle second. How about that?
Yeah, distant
Last
second. We got
Chris Middle second.
Why don't we wrap up here? Because now we're talking about just text between people.
I did send Dan a nice note. When do you send me a nice note, Amin? Never.
This reminds me of the time
You send me
Zach said
stupid ass videos on Instagram all the time.
those are great videos, first of all. Second
They
of
are
all,
great videos, but I just had to say that's the only thing I have.
But this reminds me of the time that Zach, like, what you got a card saying you're the nicest person in the world or some shit like that. I was like, who the fuck is being fooled by this?
I'm a nice dude. Like I don't know what to tell you. I'm a chill bro. Yeah.
Zach left like a 45
You're a
second
chill
voice
bro.
note about how he
chill
would
bro.
sell Dan sunglasses if he walked in the Oakley store, including all the
100%.
throw-ins and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like about like the
I'll give it to you now
microfiber.
if you want.
It's
They haven't
yeah.
haven't sponsored the podcast. I don't
Tell
feel
them
like
about
giving
tell them about the microfiber wipe. Like,
okay, so
let's-
that's what you that's a little like throw in I would do at the end of the sale, as you're trying to secure everything. You're like, look, what you want to do to clean these, don't use your shirt, don't use a paper towel, don't use toilet paper, none of that, no tissue. You want to use this microfiber bag. It's what you keep the bag in, or keep the sunglasses in. I don't use a hardcover. I think they're clunky. I think they're hard to carry around. So all you need, put it in this bag, clean it with that, little circular motions on the lens, get all the smudges out. And you know what? Actually, we're supposed to sell these. It's like 5 for $40, something like that. I got a couple extras laying around. I'm going to give you an extra bag. You just keep it in your car. That way you can always keep your sunglasses clean. Worked every time.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I must have given away millions of dollars of microfiber bags.
And that's why they're. Oh no, they're still in business, right?
No, they're still
Oakley's
very
still-
much in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lot of Oakley stores, baby. Softball never stops.
Man, loved a good Folkley back in the day. I had some
yeah.
silver
Fake
ones
Oakleys?
that were fantastic. Did I put you out of business there?
Just
Sorry
real-
about
fake
that.
No, man.
Game 7. Who's winning? Just out of curiosity.
Oakley's
Which
versus
series?
Oakley's?
All right, Zach. What series
I'll
is
take
going 7?
Folkley's and I'll take the points. Yeah.
I got Grizzlies in 7. I got Mavs in 7.
Wow. I got Celtics in 7.
Coming up soon.
They're coming back.
Yeah.
Celtics in 7.
I don't hate that.
Who had Grizzlies
Wow.
in 7? Who said Grizzlies in 7?
Zach.
Zach.
You know it.
Yeah.
Getting that steak dinner, baby.
Warriors in
can't
6. Yeah.
Memphis next week.
I got an
will be
out.
there.
What's funny is I got an out.
No, you don't.
John Morant got hurt.
I don't give a shit. You owe me a fucking steak dinner in Memphis.
Not if they force this game 7 and win it. 21-6, baby, without John
Zach,
Morant.
how much is that steak going to cost that you're going to get for me? Like, what's
I'm
the
not buying him shit. He's gonna owe me when the Grizzlies win
Wow.
this series.
You're not winning shit.
I don't know. He threatened like some Wagyu tomahawk or something.
Yeah, you
just
better believe
expensive.
I'm getting tomahawk, man.
I'll get Stugotz to expensive for me.
Tomahawk is the biggest scam in the biz.
Expensive.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Tomahawk is
Again?
just the bone on the end. If they slice it,
No,
the
no.
bone, it's just a ribeye. It's a porterhouse.
I tell them
like you're paying $100 for just the bone, the handle bone.
I say bone off. I say cut it for me. Bring it to me. Cut already.
Off.
That's what I do.
I said bone off. Yeah.
On that note.
Yeah, but what about to the waiter?
Bone on right now. Tell you what, that's a good looking steak. Yeah, you go like if you go to a butcher or you go to a Whole Foods and you're like, "Can I get a tomahawk?" They'll just like giggle at you, like you.
You got me buying steaks at the supermarket? What are you talking about?
He's got a meat guy.
Yeah, bone on.
There's another Downton Abbey movie. What the?
They all just did the jiggle jiggle song on TikTok. It was fantastic.
Oh, the dude was that from that or
no? I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know what he was from, but that song is so good. They auto-tuned it. It's really good. My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I love it when you wiggle wiggle. Oh, show
guys. What?
I have no idea what you guys have been talking.
Oh, you got to get on TikTok, Mo. Oh my God,
I have no idea what the hell's going
spend
on.
like 2 hours a day on TikTok. I don't even know what I'm watching.
I go for the animal videos. That's it. The cat.
Mo Keel _NBA on Twitter. Go watch his Twitch stream. Go watch his One Mo thing, which is awesome. You're going to learn about X's and O's, any sort of basketball stuff. That's the guy to follow. For Cinephobe, that's Zach Harper and Amin. We also have a Basketball Illuminati episode this week talking about the 1985 draft lottery. Was it the frozen envelope? Was David Stern in on it? Did he bend the corner? We talked to Patrick Hubie, an amazing interview, who wrote a feature investigating that night.
Who am I, Zach?
Douchebag.
It's 10 day.
No, specifically. I want to see I want to test your NBA knowledge. Who am I?
Oh, that's Patty Bala.
No, does he do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a very Australian.
I was going somewhere else with this.
Where are we going with that?
Go look up any picture of
Vivek. Oh yeah,
Vivek.
Vivek does that too. But yeah, no, it's a Patty Mills thing, baby.
Okay, Bala.
I'm glad you completely disrupted the promotion from Tom.
Yeah.
They know it.
And Amin, it was our
here.
fucking podcast, man.
They are here. They know it already. They know it. I don't know why I have an accent now.
You've been checked out since you stopped doing Arnold quotes.
It's 1 a.m. What are we doing?
The
this is what you do every time, Zach? No, not Zach. Tom? Zach's on the West Coast. You're cool.
Yeah.
Tom, this is what you do every time?
Every time. Yeah.
Jesus,
and I even volunteered. I'm like, yo, we got to do a post game, and it's 1:30 in the morning. So appreciate y'all for coming out and hanging with us on the post game show. We'll do it again next week. And go listen to Underdogs, Basketball Illuminati, Cinephobe, One Mo Thing, and go follow Mo on Twitter. Appreciate y'all.
But none of us, just Mo.